Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Guru Sri Juta Padakamalam. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Echo needs to be reduced. Hare Krishna. All of us, when we have come here to the temple today morning, we all would have taken bath. I am assuming that. Yes. It is because we understand the need of taking bath before we come to the temple. Now, there are two types of bath. One is bath for the body and one is bath for the soul, who we are. Actually, soul or Atma, they are different. So, bath for the Atma is what I would say, who we are. So, what is bath for the Atma? Chanting, absolutely. The names of the Lord. That is why Srila Prabhupada, whenever we sit for Bhagavatam or any lecture, there is always a bhajan that we sing before. Usually it's Jai Radha Madhava, Kunja Bihari. But today is a very special occasion, and next week we have Sri Ramanami. I am very thankful to Sankarshan Priya Prabhu and temple authorities over here, senior Vaishnavas, who ordered me to share some of the jewels from Sri Valmiki Ramayana and Srimad Bhagavatam. So I am very thankful for engaging me in this service. So this day being very special, we will start with the names of Lord Ram and then gradually get into what we are supposed to discuss today. Now my request will be that let us not let our mind and the biggest tool in the hand of Maya distract us. What is the biggest tool in the hand of Maya? Our mobile phones. So we get so much carried away Sometimes now it's so much habitual that, mobile phone automatically comes out. We start, browsing, seeing many things, even as the discussion or lecture is going on. What to talk of that, even between the chanting of the holy name. Mobile phone is more attractive than the holy name itself. So Krishna is telling in Bhagavad Gita, Yomam pashyati sarvatra sarvatra chamai pashyati tasyaham na pranashyami sachaname pranashyati. So basically, it is our mistake. In whole Bhagavatam, Sukadev Goswami ji didn't even take the name of Radharani, because he knew immediately if he takes the name of Radharani, he will not be in his senses, and then Parikshit Maharaj will be, abhi kisko pakdu? so isliye we have to understand that even by taking the name of Radharani, Sukhdev Goswami would have gone into ecstasy. And here we all are sitting, and just now I took the name of Radharani, and all of us heard also. So if nothing much has happened here, then that means that there is a long way to go. And that long way to go is mainly because the connection between the holy name and we is still not established. So for a student in life who is continuously under assessment on this account, that have my relationship with the holy name established or not, is my relationship with the name of Lord established or not, and if it is not getting established, what should a sincere student do? Try to do it. But we do counter process. I generally joke whenever I'm starting my lecture on this front. Many people, they trickle in, so lecture starts at 8:30. When they're planning, they will plan like, no problem. First 10-15 minutes is Jai Radha Madhava only. So if we reach by 8:40, 8:45 also, it's okay. So it is like sitting in a lecture without taking bath. Or what Srila Prabhupada told, directly jumping into the 10th canto of Bhagavatam. So the first 9 cantos is actually Jai Radha Madhava of Srimad Bhagavatam. Are we understanding this point? So that we can understand and appreciate the 10th canto. Jai Radha Madhava is taking bath for Atma before we listen to Bhagavatam. So none of us would have come here without taking bath. Nicely we have done Alankara, we have put Tilakam in 13 places on our body, and then we have come to the temple. So likewise, when we chant the names of the Lord, our every bit of focus should be on that name of the Lord. That's a very simple requirement. It is very ironical that it is very difficult to be simple in today's age. So let us try and follow these simple points of focusing on the name of the Lord. We can close our eyes, we can try to visualize when we say Ram, when we chant Mother Sita's name, we can try to visualize, Ram and Sita. Today the verse that we have is related to the Ayodhya Kanda of Ramayana. So we can visualize, Ram and Sita getting married, which was actually in Balakanda, but not in Ayodhya Kanda still. And then coming to Ayodhya, they being in Ayodhya, or whatever way we would like to reciprocate with the Lord and His holy names, we can try to visualize. But it's always good to be meditative. Please switch off your mobile phones for next 1.5 hours. Nothing will happen. Yeah, nothing will happen. So it's so much of addiction for us that a new Ramayana gets written, then today I will be sharing some small anecdote from Ayodhya Kand. Then we might have something related to mobile phone and not using it coming into the scriptures also. So we will try and avoid seeing mobile phone for next hour and a half. Ram Sita Ram Sita Ram Jai Jai Ram 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 Jai Jai Ram Ram Sita Ram Sita 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 Ram Jai Jai Ram Ram सीताराम सीताराम जय जय राम। राम 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 सीताराम जय जय राम। राम सीताराम 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 सीताराम जय जय राम। राम Sitaram, Sitaram, Jai Jai Ram. Ram, 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 Sitaram, Sitaram, Jai Jai Ram. Bolo bolo Ram, Sitaram, Sitaram, Jai Jai Ram. 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 Louder. Sitaram, Sitaram, Jai Jai Ram. Ram, Sitaram, Sitaram, Jai Jai Ram. Ram, Sitaram, Sitaram, Jai Jai Ram. Ram, Sitaram, everybody together. Jai Jai Ram. Ram, Sitaram, Sitaram, Jai Jai. Together. Ram, Sitaram, Sitaram, Jai Jai Ram. 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 हरिनाम संकीर्तन की हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र की जय. Did it feel like taking bath for the Atman? For devotees who are coming just now, they have missed taking bath. This verse is very important verse that we started with. Yoma pashyati sarvatra sarvatram sarvatra chamai pashyati tasyam na pranashyami sachaname pranashyati. Actually, The reason why Srila Prabhupada has kept the name of ISKCON as International Society for Krishna Consciousness, this verse is actually the underlying foundational verse for what Srila Prabhupada intended. Because it's about our consciousness. It's about what is my consciousness when I am reciprocating with every aspect of my practice or every aspect of my life. What to talk of, complete focus and absorption when we are chanting the holy name. So if we are not able to feel anything when we chant Ram or Krishna or Radharani's name, then it is a problem with our consciousness. It is not the problem with the name. The process is pakka. The process is proven. Over thousands and thousands and thousands of years, the process is proven. And yet, knowing very well that it is our consciousness, that we are not able to see Lord in everything and everything in Lord. This connection we are not able to see, yet, we are taking chances. How dangerous the situation is. How dangerous the situation is. And we are paying at what cost? It's like paying through gold and buying iron. Not even iron, buying stone. In Ramayana, there is a very beautiful pastime of Ahalya, where she is cursed to be a stone. Actually not. In Valmiki Ramayana, there is no reference of Ahilya becoming a stone. What is mentioned in Ramayana is that Ahilya will become invisible. The Shrapa, which is given by her husband, is that you should become invisible for what you have done. And the metaphor, if you understand what acharyas have told, when we see a stone, it is almost like invisible. No? If husband and wife are walking on the road, nobody will say how beautiful that stone is. Nobody would consider a stone or a pebble or something lying on the ground any significant. It's insignificant. So that was the curse actually given to Ahilya, that you should become invisible. But then later, many acharyas gave their explanations. Different Ramayana came by different acharyas, like Tulsidas ji wrote Ramcharitramanas. There is Khamba Ramayana. There are many Ramayanas like that. So in that reference, in many other Ramayanas, this reference came that Ahilya was cursed to become a stone, so that it's relatively easier to understand. So when we start seeing Krishna in everything and everything in Krishna, we are never lost to him, nor is he ever lost to us. But we are not able to understand this aspect or this foundational verse for creation of ISKCON by Srila Prabhupada. Consciousness. And what are we paying with? As I told, we are paying with gold and buying a stone, which is so insignificant. And what is this gold that we are paying with? We are paying with our life. We are paying every moment. Imagine, a situation where there are acharyas, there are rishis who have told that life is very short. Let us not waste our life. Even a single moment. Anybody here now? I can see there are many people here in their 60s, 70s also. I am in my 40s, late 40s. Isn't it true that, when we are in our 40s and 50s and 60s, it appears that the life is running away? Just now we were saying Happy New Year, and then suddenly, we are in a situation that 1 year is gone. Already 3 months are over. Yeah, I'm talking about the modern English Happy New Year. Our Happy New Year happened just now, last week. Yugadi was our Happy New Year. So, and which is actually true. If we really sit back and understand or try to see our life, it appears as if it is just, it's flash of a moment. Young people might not see like that. You are looking forward to, a lot of things happening in your future life. So it always appears. So we joke in Vidya Kshetra when we are in the class and children are telling their age, or if their birthday is about to come in 6 months, they will say, and they're 12, they will already say we are 13. Why? Only 6 months to my birthday. Aaj hi birthday ho ke hata, to only 11 months to my birthday. So that's how children see their age. When children are seeing, or young people, they want to feel older. They feel very happy that, I am an year older. After 30, it is sort of neutral. We start telling our own age. And 40 and after that, it's like, I'm still early 40s. I was also tempted to say, I'm mid 40s, though I have crossed it. So I thought I will better say I'm late 40s. So that's how actually the situation is. Life just runs away, and many times we see that in our life when we do a mistake, that repentance is very painful, very painful. Has anybody got very angry and have told many wrong things and then later repented here? Please raise your hand if you have done so. Remaining are, all moksha already. If you're not raising your hand, means you are already there. You have arrived. So, because anarthas are there in all of us. The kama, krodha, moh, mad, matsarya, lobha is in all of us. And Krishna has given two very beautiful verses, dhyayato vishayan pumsam sangas te supajayate sanjat sanjayate kama kama krodho bijayate krodhat bhavati sammoha sammoha smriti vibramaha smriti bramshat buddhi nasho pranashyati. Why would he spend two verses one after another, on the subject matter of krodha? Because he knows very well what are we going to be afflicted with. So likewise, we better not get into a situation that we are on our deathbed and we are repenting. अरे यार, क्या opportunity थी, है ना? क्या opportunity थी? Can anybody here guarantee your next life what it will be? We cannot. Lord's mercy, maybe we are lucky, we will get association of devotees. So if we cannot guarantee, what should an intelligent person do? Sell gold to buy stones? So we have to understand the importance of what we are trying to do here. Human birth has been given for us to finish our business, not to get entangled, not to, waste our time doing things that are meaningless, absolutely meaningless. And we try to justify it. There is one rule of thumb. The moment you see yourself justifying, you should understand that, this is not right. 99% out of 100, you will be bang on, bullseye. The moment you're trying to justify or explain something, मैं ऐसा इसलिए कर रहा हूँ क्योंकि. So that ये justification शुरू हो गया है. Because if it is truth, it is very clear. Only false, has many shades. There is a joke, no? If you always tell truth, you don't need to remember anything. If you tell false, you have to remember so many things. मैं किसको क्या बोला, उसको मैंने क्या बोला, because बाद में पकड़े गए तो याद होना चाहिए ना मैंने आपको क्या बोला था. So that's why it is told truth is clear. There is no confusion there. Only when justification, this whole if and but and this and that comes, that means something is in gray. So we have to understand this element. Let me come back to Ramayana. The verse today is from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 9, Chapter 10, verse 8. Ya satyapasha parivita piturnidesham satyapasha parivita piturnidesham strainasya chapi shirasa jagresha bharyaha strainasya chapi shirasa jagresha bharyaha Rajyam Shriyam Pranayinashu Suhrido Nivasam Rajyam Shriyam Pranayina Suhrido Nivasam Tyaktva Yayau Vanam Asun Iva Mukta Sangaha Tyaktva Yayau Vanam Asun Iva Mukta Sangaha Ya Satyapasha Parivita Piturnidesham Strainasya Chapi Shirasa Jagresa Bharyaha Rajyam Shriyam Pranayina Suhrido Nivasam Tyaktva Yayauvanam Asuniva Mukta Sangaha Ya Satyapasha Parivita Piturnidesham Strainasya Chapi Shirasa Jagresa Bharyaha Rajyam Shriyam Pranayina Suhrido Nivasam Tyaktva Yayauvanam Asuniva Mukta Sangaha Yeah, Lord Ramachandra, who Satyapasha Parivitah Pituhu, of his father, who was bound by the promise to his wife, Nidesham, the order, Strainasya, of the father who was very much attached to his wife, Cha, also, Api, indeed, Shirasa, on his head, Jagrehe, accepted, Sabharyaha, with his wife, Rajyam, the kingdom, Shriyam, opulence, Pranayinaha, relatives, Suhridha, friends, Nivasam, residence, Tyaktva, giving up, Yayau, went, Vanam, to the forest, Asun, life, Iva, like, Mukta Sangaha, a liberated soul. Translation by Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki Carrying out the order of his father, who was bound by a promise to his wife, Lord Ramachandra left behind his kingdom, opulence, friends, well-wishers, residents, and everything else, just as a liberated soul gives up his life and went to the forest with Sita. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Maharaj Dashratha had 3 wives. One of them, Kekai, served him very pleasingly, and he therefore wanted to give her a benediction. Kekai, however, said that she would ask for the benediction when it was necessary. At the time of the coronation of Prince Ramachandra, Kekai requested her husband to enthrone her son Bharata and send Ramachandra to the forest. Maharaj Dashratha, being bound by his promise, ordered Ramachandra to go to the forest, according to the dictation of his beloved. And the Lord, as an obedient son, accepted the order immediately. He left everything without hesitation, just as a liberated soul or great yogi gives up his life without material attraction. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनाशलाखया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरु वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपां सहग्रजातां सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितान्तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपदान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वंशकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। This is this verse, though in Srimad Bhagavatam, in Ramayana it is actually from Ayodhya Kanda. After the Balakanda, Ayodhya Kanda is there, and everybody is so euphoric. Imagine a situation where all your 4 sons have got married. In Mithila, they all have come back. So much of celebrations, so much of ecstasy, and it is just some duration which has passed where they are all living so happily in Ayodhya, as if it's like Vaikuntha. Ayodhya is though higher than Vaikuntha, but I'm talking about the Bhu Lok Ayodhya, where each and every citizen of the city, when Ram was himself there, imagine what level of bliss would be there. So Acharyas have told in Valmiki Ramayana, Valmiki ji himself is mentioning the most unfortunate person is who has not seen Ram when Ram was there. on earth. Imagine. Likewise, there would be people who have not seen Krishna when Krishna was here also in Mathura, Vrindavan. So how unfortunate, you know? What level of misfortune if we have not seen Ram when Ram is here amongst us. He's also here now. If we in the Vigraha form, in the name form, in the pastimes form. But Vani and Vapu both are important. It has its own significance. So all the four brothers got married. They came back. They were living so happily in Ayodhya. Every citizen was ecstatic that there can be no problem hereafter. But as we say, man proposes and God disposes. So this is material world. Even God is bound by the rules which he has himself, inspired to be created. And then one day, Dasharath Maharaj, he was on his bed. And he was on his bed. He was not able to get sleep. He was turning left, right. Many times it happens. No? Sometimes we find it difficult to sleep when there is a lot going in our mind. So he was not getting sleep. He gets up from his bed. He gets up from his bed, and in that half sleep, half waking up state, he goes and starts walking in his room. And then he goes in front of the mirror, and when he sees his head, he gets shocked. Now he's not wearing crown, of course. रात में सोते हुए कौन crown डालेगा? So our Ramayana and Mahabharata episodes, one thing which it has conveyed is very well that every king, wears lot of jewelry and, this. No, it was not like that. If you see the records of Britishers, it mentions that, when the visitors of India, there is a very nice author called Meenakshi Jain. She has written a book called The India They Saw, of last 2000 plus years of visitors who visited India. So some visitors have given their travelogues and reports. In that they mention that it's so difficult to find out who is the king and who is the minister and who is a regular man in the court of the king. Unless you have a very refined way to figure out that the border of the dhoti of the king will give it out. Otherwise, the king and the ministers and the for example, if we are in this temple, when temple president comes, if somebody new has come, will somebody be able to figure out who is the temple president here? No. Only when somebody tells no, Narahari Prabhu is the temple president, will somebody understand? Or maybe he is giving some talk or something. Something special has to happen. He's not going to wear some gold jewelry or something different and come here. Likewise, it used to be on a regular day. On special festival occasions, yes. If there is something very special organized in the kingdom, yes. So Dasharath Maharaj was very restless. He wakes up in that half sleep, half wake up state, goes and stands in front of the mirror and sees one white hair on his head. So now people here with many white hairs. So he gets worried. It's time for me to go. Next generation has to take over. Nowadays, because of many reasons, in our 20s only we have white hair, many people, but it didn't used to happen then. So when Dasharatha sees white hair on his head, he starts thinking, I think it's time to make Ram the king. And with that came a big worry, because he was carrying a lot of baggage on his head. In his heart of the hearts, he knew it is not going to happen, because he has a curse on his head, a big baggage of a curse. He has some promises that he has made at wrong time to wrong people. So he knew that, gadbad to hone wali hai. So his heart, because kings were kings because they were, good. And Dasharath Maharaj was really good. He has fought many battles for devatas. In one of the battles, he was assisted by Kekai, And he ended up giving a promise to her. Ask for any boon, any two boons, I will grant you. And she's smart. She said, I will ask at a right moment. What is mentioned here in the purport? Today I am not in the need of it, so I will ask when I feel there is a need for it. Though she didn't had that intention, Kekai was a very, 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 very good person and continued to be, except for a small duration in between, because of the wrong association of her maid servant Manthara. And what was the duration? Can anybody guess? What was that duration for her to, slip? It was just, 2 or 3 days in her whole life. So we have to be very careful. If we are making an offense or, being very careful in our dealings with people. And the whole conversation between Kekai and Manthara was just an hour and a half approximately, in which he convinced her completely that, from a point where Kekai said that Bharata and like Rama is going to become a king, she was so elated. She said, I wish Bharata was here, to see this celebration, that his elder brother Ram is going to become the king tomorrow. From being here to going to a place where she tells Dashratha that, please tell that son of Kaushalya that he has to leave from here. She's not even telling the name of Ram. So this transition happened in just a matter of few hours. So Dashratha knew that, I have given one promise to Kekai. Also, Dashratha in his conversation with the father of Kekai had promised that Bharata, the son of Kekai, will be the king. And that is the reason when the coronation news is spread and invitations are sent, 2 people are not invited. One is the brother of Kekai, because by that time the father was not there. And the second was Maharaj Janaka, because Dashratha knew that there is only one person who can stop me and will force me to follow my promise, and that is Janaka, despite of being father of Sita. See the beauty of relationships. Appa, how he will not get carried away. Today the biggest problem happens in marriage when, parent interferences are happening. And here is a father whom Dashratha is afraid of, that my son Ram will not become king because Janaka will uphold the principle of word and not get carried away by the fact that Sita is married to Ram. So he doesn't send the invitation to 2 people. Everybody else gets the invitation. Only 2 people are not invited for this coronation ceremony. So Dashratha, when he sees his white hair, he decides that it's time I should, make Ram the king and peacefully retire. What was the amount of years Dashratha was the king? Anybody here? 60,000, huh? 60,000 years. Yeah, so some acharyas say 60,000. Some say that in Upanishads there is a mention that if the king is a pious king, is a king who follows dharma, then his 1 year of ruling is equivalent to 1,000 years of ruling. So some acharyas say that it was 60 years. Some say it is 60,000 years, and Lord Ram himself ruled for around 10,000 years. Is what the mention in Ramayana is. So then he goes next day and just calls a small council of ministers, not the full-fledged, And he floats this idea. What are your views about this point that, we will make Ram the king? Hearing this, ministers are in super ecstasy. Then Dashratha gets a doubt, in his mind. Main galat se rule karna tha kya? It's mentioned there. So he starts questioning his own credibility. On one side, he's happy that his ministers and so near and dear ones, his confidant, one of them was Sumantra. All of them are in super ecstasy hearing that Ram will become a king, Ram will become a king. Suddenly in his heart comes this feeling, wasn't I ruling in a nice way? So he was split between these two feelings. But he was smart, he was intelligent, and he realized that my son's success is my success. That is how people used to see. Today the generations are changing. We are adopting Western ways, where parents have started seeing their children more as liability than as uh, blessing. There are young people who are not marrying. There are married people who are not giving birth to children. I know so many people in last few months where discussions have happened. No, we don't need children. We have dog at home. इससे ज्यादा ट्रांजैक्शनल कोई क्या हो सकता है? So this is the situation we have landed ourselves in. So here Dashratha sees his son's happiness as his own happiness, and is able to overcome his lower nature, this one feeling, that sort of one thought that strikes him. And then he says, immediately we should do it, because he knows, before the problem comes, सब कुछ खत्म कर देना चाहिए. Because एक बार राजा बन गए तो बन गए ना, उसके बाद में प्रॉब्लम नहीं, करके ऐसा उसको लगा. So then he announces, and the invitation is sent in a very, very sort of silent way. It's not announced in the whole kingdom and all. But like our Republic TV and media, that time there was Ayodhya media, and the news spread immediately that something like this is going to happen, and it might happen as early as next day, or maybe a day after next, but very soon it's going to happen. So Manthara sees that that from the palace where she was, which is the palace of Kekai, she actually came along with Kekai after marriage. So that was the tradition. Some very close maid servants will go along with the queen who's got married, or princess. So she sees from the top of her palace that people are putting holy colors, and it's not holy. People are bursting crackers, it's not Diwali. I'm saying Deepavali happened when Ram came back, but this is a Nitya Leela. It happens again and again. It happens again and again. So they are so much joyful. What festival is there? There is no festival. What happened? Then she hears people loudly enjoying, Ram is going to become king, Ram is going to become king. So she runs to Kekai, and Kekai, she shares this news. Kekai, Ram is going to become the king. Karke. And while she is sharing, she's not smiling like me. She was like, Kekai, when she hears, she takes her Narayana beads garland, the jewelry that she had, and she gives to Manthara, and says that, Manthara, such a wonderful news you have shared with me today. And Manthara tears it apart and throws it on the floor. When will you get buddhi? Buddhi illa. So she says, what are you saying? It's such an ecstatic moment that Ram is going to become king. I so wish that Bharata was here, to see this happen. And then she starts, her 1.5 hour, where she brings this logic, that logic. How nice it would feel, Kekai, that you will be the servant of Kaushalya. So Kekai, she knew exactly where to hit. And many times we will see, people around us, when we are in an altercation or argument, people know, especially the closest one, where to hit the most. Married people will vouch for it. When there is an argument between husband and wife, many times it happens. And then later when things cool down, अरे यार क्यों ऐसा बोला? So So Manthara knew exactly that Kekai's weakest point was that she always wanted to be the main queen for Dashratha. And it happened. In reality, it happened. Actually, Kaushalya was the first queen, and Dashratha had how many wives? No. She had one wife every day of the year. Why? Because Parshuram, when he was coming to kill all the Kshatriyas, Parshuram had taken a vow that he will not kill a Kshatriya who is in the process of getting married. So whenever he used to get a news that Parshuram is coming, Dashratha would sit to get married. He had three principal queens: Kaushalya, Sumitra, and Kekai. And you won't believe, they three were like, it was Swargaloka. No difference at all. Kekai loved Ram more than Bharata. Bharata would eat from the hand of Kekai and not, from Kaushalya's hand. Throughout his childhood, it's mentioned. Actually, Balakanda, very less amount of information is given in Valmiki Ramayana about Rama's, pastimes. But in Ayodhya Kanda, when Rama goes and tells Kaushalya that I have to go to the forest, that is when a little hint is given where Kaushalya says, whole childhood you didn't spend with me. And now, so for me, that my motherly affection towards you, I have never felt satisfied. Rama, what is there for me now? What shall I do? That's Kaushalya's, question to Rama. So from there you get a hint and you connect the dots that actually it was with Kekai that Rama spent more time. And that's why Kekai was so ecstatic. And Manthara is saying, fool, you fool. How nice it would feel you being a servant of Kaushalya. Because imagine if Ram becomes king, who will be given more importance? So she said, why? Why Kaushalya will be given more importance? And also, I will talk to Ram. After Ram's kingdom is done, he will make Bharata the king. What is there in it? So much to worry about. Because Ram likes Bharata so much. They are like, when they were child and they were born, twins were Lakshmana and Shatrughan. And they were all lying in 4 different cradles and were crying. All 4 of them were crying on top of their voice. So Vasishta Muni comes and says, you please pick Lakshmana and put him next to Ram. And you please pick Shatrughna and put him next to Bharata. And the moment mothers did that, Sumitra went and she picked up Lakshmana and put him next to Ram, and took Shatrughna and put him next to Bharata. All 4 stopped crying. Actually, the birth of Lakshmana and Shatrughna happened to serve Ram and Bharata. There's so much of nectar about Bharata and Ram's relationship. It's unbelievable. Maybe later or some different occasion we will go into that. So Bharata and Ram loved each other so much that inseparable. So Kekai never had that doubt. Mantra told, when Ram becomes the king, he will make his children the king after that. Have you ever seen in history where there are children to the king and he has made brother the king? So you know where they came from? Where Kekai came from? It is Kekai Desh. It is north of Afghanistan. So the farther you get from the core of Bharata, the degradation is more in culture. So that is what you see. The West is the farthest from India. And we all are so super excited to go to America and Europe. It's like giving our life and buying, stones. So leaving the Deva Bhumi, leaving the Bhumi where Ram walked, where Krishna walked. And then, going to the Mleccha Desh, where to follow your own basic sadhana itself is so difficult. It's told in India, if you sleep down also, it is considered as Dandavat. Don't take that only and हर रोज मैं दानवत कर रहा हूँ तो और कुछ करने की जरूरत नहीं. It just means you begin from there and you intensify it. So Kekai gets convinced and then she goes to Dashratha. Dashratha is so super ecstatic and he says, Kekai, come, let's sit and plan, There's so much to do. Such a big occasion tomorrow. And Kekai is like, okay, I will think through. And then Dashratha continues his work and then Kekai goes into the Kopu Bhavana. And Dashratha gets that news that, Kekai is in Kopu Bhavana. He goes there to meet her. What happened? It's such an ecstatic occasion, such a happy moment. Why are you angry or upset? And it's so beautifully described, the scene. So on the floor, the gold jewelry is, lying. And on the bed, Kekai with open hair, without any alankara, she's lying down with her sari, pallu on one side and crying. अब ये सब देख के तो पहले ही हस्बैंड का एकदम मतलब दिल. And anyhow, Dashratha liked Kekai a lot. So he tries to tell her, what is that is making you grief? There is so much to do, such a wonderful, happy occasion. Tomorrow, we are going to make Ram the king. What we have been waiting for so many years, it's going to happen tomorrow. And Kekai, she continues to cry. Now, Dashratha has not learned from his mistake. He says, whatever you want, I will give you. Please tell me what is the problem. So Kekai, after hearing that, gets up and says that you will hold up to what you are saying, that whatever I want, you will give. Yes, please tell me, my dear wife, whatever you want, I will give you. I promise. Ek aur promise. So she says, give me those 2 boons that are pending. Do you remember? He said, of course I remember. Of course I remember. What you want? You want Prithvi? I will give the whole kingdom to you. You want Swargaloka? I can give that also to you. Whatever you want, you ask and I will give it to you. And Kekai, in her absolute cold manner, one cannot be more cold than this. She says, first boon, please make Bharata the king and not Ram. Dashratha is devastated. He said, nahi, abhi ruk jao. Abhi dusre tak mat jao. So, kya bol rahe ho? What are you saying, Kekai? Ram is going to become the king. Bharata, I know Bharata is equally qualified. He is also very good administrator. He is very good king. He is loving. Everybody likes him also. So all qualifications of the king he lists down. But still, it's Ram who has to become the king. How can we make Bharata the king? And she says, you have promised me. Now, Raghukul Reet Sada Chali Ai, Prana Jaye Par Vachana Na Jaye. If you don't want to give your boons, just forget it. It's okay. Hitting at the ego, she knows where to hit. Like Mantra knew about Kekai, Kekai knew about Dashratha. Nahi dena hai to mat do, chodo. Badi badi baatein mat karo. And then she says, Dashratha says, no, don't say like that. What you are asking for me is my own life actually. I will die. So Dashratha thought, chalo theek hai, somehow I will convince Ram. First time he felt in his whole life that Ram being good was a problem. Because he knew the moment I tell Ram, Ram will agree. So he said, बच्चे को इतना भी follow नहीं करना चाहिए. First time that thought crossed his mind that, how nice Ram is. And immediately tears started rolling his cheek. And he said, चलो at least Ram साथ में तो है. मैं convince कर लूँगा उसको. And then came the second thunderbolt. Kekai said, now my second request is, my boon that I want from you is, Ram should be exiled for 14 years to forest. He falls down there. The situation is reversed. First, Kekai was on the floor, on the bed. Now Dashrath is on the floor. He faints. He just faints. Can't even bear the pain of hearing this boon what Kekai asks for. What are you asking? How can you even think of this? How can you separately live from Ram? Leave about my pain, Kekai. One moment without Ram is not possible for me. I don't blink my eyes thinking that, I will miss seeing Ram when Ram is in front of me. And you are asking me that 14 years I will have to live without Ram. I will die. I will not be living anymore. It doesn't matter to me, whatever is your thoughts, please grant me these two boons. After some time, Dashratha gathers himself and calls Sumantra. Sumantra is hearing this all, he's outside. He was Sumantra, there is people who are charioteers, I'm forgetting the name they are called, this community. Even Karna, Suta. So he was a Suta. And the role of Suta is to connect, to connect the past to the present. Sumantra stays silent. He doesn't say anything. But he's getting inside, really wants to say something. But the moment Dashratha calls him and says, please call Ram, Sumantra looks at Dashratha and is like, what are you saying? In his mind, ऐसा क्या बोलना चाह रहे हो आप? But king ने order किया है, निर्णय लिया है, करना है follow. So he went and called Ram. There was a small story before this, which I forgot. Dashratha, when he meets his council and wants to make Ram the king, he also meets Ram and tells him that, tomorrow is your coronation. So when Ram comes and hears to that, he says, okay, Pitashri, it's fine. Na ki, party time and all, aisa kuch nahi tha. So they didn't go in the evening to, some nice restaurant and eat, celebration karna hai, aisa kuch nahi tha. Ram, what is mentioned is his facial expressions didn't change even a bit. When Dashratha told that you will be coronated and you will become a king tomorrow, he just took it as if it's life as usual and just left to his own palace. And then when Sumantra goes to call Ram again, Ram looks at Sita and he's God, he knows, so Lakshmi and Narayana, he knows. So he looks at Sita and the father has called. So, but Bhagwan ka kya hota hai? Whenever they want, they can come out of this covering, and whenever they want, they can go back into it. So in Ramayana, there are contexts where Ram is crying, when Sita is abducted. So he's completely in this, he's gone into it completely. Now it's not acting. It is very, very natural, to him. So he goes, and when he's going out of his kingdom, the news has spread. Everybody is looking at Ram. He's going in his chariot. They're, throwing petals and they're saying, Jai Ram Ji ki. So like that whole kingdom is, on the top of their voice chanting Jai Ram Ji ki, and everybody is celebrating. There is holy colors going around and celebration going around that Ram is going to his father's palace. Some good news is going to come out. Maybe the day will be announced, or maybe something will come out. And he's going into the palace of Dashratha, and he goes inside and he sees the situation in that Kopa Bhavana. And he sees Mother Kekai over there standing like a rock and Dashratha on the floor. And Dashratha, when he sees Ram, he just turns around because he cannot even face his son. His voice is faltering. He cannot speak. The whole throat has choked. मैं बोलूं तो कैसे बोलूं? So Kekai says, Rama, maybe your father is finding it difficult to say something. Let me make it easy for him. Your father's desire is, please mark the words, your father's desire is that instead of you, Bharata becomes the king. And as early as possible, you go to the forest for 14 years. Now again, it is mentioned in Valmiki Ramayana, not even a speck moved, on the face of Ram. आज का क्या होगा? What are you saying? आप जाओ. Today, if some parents tell this to their son or daughter, what will the children say? Have you gone mad? Come, I will take you to a psychiatrist. और old age home बहुत खुले हैं, आपके लिए बना है वो. That's what is the situation today. We might not be so blunt or so harsh in our communication, but most of our parents are ending up there, isn't it? Why the number of old age homes in Bangalore is increasing left, right, and center? This is the reason. There is a very beautiful word in a couplet in Punjabi. एक ने कही दूसरे ने मानी, नानक कहे दोनों ज्ञानी. गुरु नानक, एक ने कही दूसरे ने मानी, नानक कहे दोनों ज्ञानी. To have a happy married life or a family life, this is the mantra. If it is not really principle shattering और लाइफ थ्रेटनिंग, एक ने जो बोली दूसरे ने मान लेना चाहिए, परिवार अच्छा रहता है. एक ने बोली दूसरे ने मानी, नानक कहे दोनों ज्ञानी, both are intelligent. It's a mantra for happy life. That was the mantra which was used. Parents ने बोला, बच्चे मानते थे, सुनते थे. आजकल हेड में हम लोग जितना जीवन जीने लगे हैं, हम लोग उसको हर चीज को क्वेश्चन करने लगे हैं. It was a no-brainer that the smallest unit in Indian Samskriti is family. It was never an individual. It is British thought that has come into India where individuals are individuals now. So any decision, any structure, any societal structure, any economic structure, all were built on the principle of family being the smallest unit. Why? Why would somebody do that? People lived as per Bhagavad Gita. आजकल हम लोग कृष्ण को मानते हैं, कृष्ण की नहीं मानते हैं. भगवत गीता इज अ लाइफ लिविंग मैनुअल. हम लोग प्रीचिंग में तो बोलते हैं ना सबको, पर अपने लाइफ में कितना उसको यूज कर रहे हैं वो पता नहीं. अपना लाइफ का मैनुअल हम इलेक्ट्रॉनिक गैजेट बिल्कुल बिना मैनुअल के ही चला रहे हैं अधिकतर. सो इफ रियली भगवत गीता इज द लाइफ मैनुअल, then we should run our life also as per that or not. So it is very clearly understood that Hindu Samskriti, we all are Sanatan Dharma followers, Vedic culture followers. We need to lead our life as per karma siddhanta, yes or no? So whatever we do, we incur karma. Whether it is positive, whether it is negative karma. So when we are leading our life as per karma, it was very simple to understand that if you are alone, you will incur a lot of karma, because you will have to only buy things you cannot create. Only when people are together, they can make things, they can create things. Only when you stay together, you can follow the culture of your family. Your parivar paramparas and your ज्ञान paramparas are possible only when you are living together. अकेला व्यक्ति है तो साल में क्या एक फेस्टिवल सेलिब्रेट कर लेगा अच्छे से, but there are 30 festivals, 40 festivals in a year. How can you continue, and that's why no wonder people are tired today. Yes or no? Women is tired, men are tired. Men are tired because सारा दुनिया का बोझ अकेले उठा रहे हैं. पूरा परिवार मेरे कंधों पे ही है, कोई भाई नहीं, साथ में उठाने को, कोई दोस्त नहीं साथ में उठाने को. विमेन पूरा घर का काम भी कर रहे, जॉब भी कर रहे, बच्चे को भी अकेले संभाल रहे. वेरी टफ. यस और नो? Why? Because we have separated, fragmented. Villages got separated, houses have got separated, families have got separated. अकेले रहने का बिल्कुल हो गया है. No wonder बच्चों को नहीं पैदा करेंगे बाबा. इतना काम कौन करेगा? It's a natural, progression. So people knew that the moment we break the village, the moment we break the family, the moment we further go down, lot of karma has to come, because we will not be able to create anything. We only will end up buying things. For the smallest need, we will have to buy. No paramparas will follow. All Varna Sankaras. The fear of Arjuna actually manifests like this on the ground. श्राद्ध नहीं कर पाएंगे. क्यों? पंडित, अरे पहले एक जॉइंट फैमिली होती थी, 100 लोग रहते थे, पंडित को मालूम था एक घर में जाके खाना है. अभी वो एक घर के 20 घर बन गए, 20 घर में जाके कैसे खाएगा पुरोहित? तो बाकी के 19 लोगों को क्या करना होगा? दे विल हैव टू डू सम एडजस्टमेंट थिंग. So our culture will not be, we cannot follow it further. So this understanding was fundamental. People knew it. That's why गांव छोड़ना मतलब बहुत बड़ी बात होती थी. गांव से निकाल दिया. I remember in 60s there were movies which used to come where somebody was asked to leave the village, and that fellow was so devastated. How can I leave out of village? आजकल क्या है? गांव उनके कहने से पहले हम, I will go out, no problem. What to talk of village? Family, I will go out. What is the big deal? Brother and brothers are fighting, parents and children are fighting, husband and wife are fighting. Bitter battles in the court. It's bitter battle. Cannot be more bitter than that. So this is very fundamental understanding that family was the smallest unit. And sorry, where did I start from in Ramayana? So coming back to it. So Ram, when he meets Dashratha and meets Mother Kekai, what was his first sentence? No change on the facial expressions. He says, that's it. Is this why my father is so much disturbed? For you could have happily told me that and I would do that. And even if it is not my father's request, even if it was yours, oh mother, I would have done even more acceptingly. He knew kiska request hai. But how he is protecting his mother's, feelings and telling, people make mistakes. Nobody is beyond mistakes. Nobody is beyond mistakes. Today's culture, another culture that has come in most of the human beings is criticism, where we keep the gap in the behavior of the person more important than the person. So if in my heart I like somebody or I love somebody, it is an unconditional love. Problems will happen in front of it, and those problems are smaller than the love or the relationship that I have with that person. That's a very simple siddhanta to follow in your life. But what happens? Problem happens, that problem stays in the heart. The feeling or the relationship looks smaller in the front of problem today. And that is why we have friction. With students, sometimes we discuss this in our Gurukul, that, why do you love your mother? Or why do you love your father? I love my mother because she cooks very nice for me. I love my mother because this, because that, because this. I said, that's good. But can you love because you love? Do you love because of something? No. You have accepted a person as your life's partner or as your friend because he or she is your friend. Then other things will look small in front of it. When we are devotees working together, we have accepted each other's sangha. We are accepting them in our feeling realm. Then if they make a mistake, it looks small in front of it. But if our view is of a fly and not of a honeybee, then we look for a problem in that person, and that problem looks big, the person looks small, and then the difference comes, relationship breaks. So let us develop the mentality of a honeybee, where honeybee in a whole garden of garbage, if you put one flower, honeybee will go searching for that flower. Whereas a fly, in the whole garden, you put small garbage, the fly will go searching for that garbage. So Ram said, doesn't matter, mother. This is such a small thing for me. And he bows down, touches the feet of Kekai, because Dashrath was lying on the floor. He doesn't touch the feet, he just leaves from there. And Kekai tells to Dashratha, see, it was so easy. And you made such an up and down whole thing. Then Sumantra comes to Kekai. अब उससे control नहीं हो रहा है. He's saying, usually daughters are close to father and sons are close to mother, but you have broken that principle also, because you have gone exactly on your mother. So Kekai gets, very red and, angry. What do you mean? Your father had a quality. Now this is the suta, connecting the, yeah. Sut also means thread. Yeah. So he is connecting the dots, and Sut were very frank. That's why Sanjay, in Mahabharata, he didn't flinch an eye telling Dhritarashtra what wrong he is doing. That's why it was recommended to have these type of people, charioteers, who will also not, be afraid of telling on the face what is wrong. And Dhritarashtra knew. That's why he got Sanjay and he was asking counsel from him. So like that, Sumantra, what a blessing to have people like this around, isn't it? But today, मेरे आसपास कोई मेरे को feedback देने वाला नहीं होना चाहिए, है ना? But actually, the best leadership lesson which Ram gives Bharata later in Chitrakoot, one of the lessons he tells is, you should have near you people who don't feel afraid of giving you feedback. So Sumantra tells Kekai, you are exactly like your mother. Because the father of Kekai, Ashwapati Maharaj, had a boon that he could hear insects and birds talk. But he, along with that boon, had a curse that if you tell this to anybody, you will die. So you cannot tell this art. You cannot transfer this knowledge to somebody, that how to figure out what the insects and birds are talking, or animals are talking to each other. So one day Ashwapati was with his wife, and he just started laughing. So his wife said, what are you laughing for? He said, I just heard those two ants talk to each other. So she said, no, I also want to know, what are they talking? I want to experience that. He said, you know very well, if I tell this art to you, I will die. Doesn't matter. I really want, because it's years, I've got really fed up. You are enjoying alone, and you are like, actually she thought, she didn't believe, I don't know. But this is the story which happened on the ground. So Sumantra reminds Kekai, your mother also was the reason behind the death of your father. Same way, your husband is telling you so many times that I will die out of this pain, Kekai. What are you doing? And you are going on and on that path. And he tells that and leaves from there. Sumantra. Ram immediately, sorry. So Ram immediately goes and talks to Kaushalya. And then that discussion happened that I just told, where Kaushalya was actually chanting, she was doing archana. She was offering the flowers with every name of the Lord. They had a deity of Ranganatha Swami, who was their own family deity. Today in Sri Rangam, the deity is actually the deity which has been worshipped personally by Ram and his ancestors. So Kaushalya cries and says, I never got a chance to be with you, Ram. In childhood, you were more with other, mothers. Then you went to the, Gurukul. Then you came back. Vishwamitra took you, and now you are again gone. I bless you, my son. Then Ram goes to his chamber to talk to Sita and speaks to Mother Sita that that Vedahi, I am going to the forest, and it will be so nice if you can take care of my parents in my absence. So Sita looks at his face top to down. Who are you to tell me about my responsibility of taking care of your parents? These are exactly the words that Sita says. You don't need to teach me. My parents have done that job, and they have done it well. By the way, there was an astrologer who told me that in my Jataka it's mentioned that I will spend a lot of time in forest, which she actually did. After her marriage, first 14 years in forest, and then again afterwards with Valmiki Muni ashram, again in forest. That it's written in my Jataka that I will spend more time in forest. So you cannot go alone. Said, no, it's not a place, for enjoyment. There are wild animals. She said, for me, forest is without you. Wherever you are there, it's like a resort for me. That's not the word she uses. No, it's not a joke. You will not get food to eat. Your parents have brought you up like a princess. You have never walked, bare feet on a pebble. We are talking about, forest. There will be thorns which will be like sword, Sita. And in the night, there will be nobody singing for you while you're sleeping. We will hear, sounds of tigers and lions and bears and wild boars. So it's nice to imagine that forest will be nice, but it's another thing to be in such a space. Doesn't matter, Ram. You are there with me. I will. That's enough. So Ram still says no. You take care of my parents here. And then Sita goes to the next level of offense. My father, when Mithila was burning, he took care of the entire Rajya. How happy he would feel to know that his son-in-law can't even take care of his daughter. तो कंपेयर करती है अपने फादर को और राम को. तो राम अभी भी विचलित नहीं हुए. Sita goes to the next level. How would my father feel that he is not even married me to a man? चलो चलो चलते हैं. इससे आगे और कुछ मत बोलो करके. So राम, मतलब this is the Sita actually thought in her mind, I will, मुझे जाना है. साम दाम दंड भेद. I need to go with my husband, whatever it takes. In forest, I will make up for it. And that's why she did this. And there comes a prasanga when Ram is fighting 16,000 Rakshasas. Ram tells Sita, वो balcony seat है ना, वहां पर wait करो. वहां से movie दिखाता हूँ कि मैं man हूँ या नहीं. That's what acharyas have told. So he takes Sita and says, you wait here. Let me finish all of them and come. And he single-handedly kills all 16,000 Rakshasas. So that is how the connection is, between this, what Sita says, and Ram waits for 14 years, to settle. हम लोग का तो ऐसा immediate, आजकल का WhatsApp के जमाने में हमारा आदत भी वैसा हो गया है. हर चीज का क्लोजर एक मोमेंट में चाहिए हमें. किसी के साथ प्रॉब्लम है, उसी मोमेंट में सॉल्व करना है. WhatsApp भेजा नहीं, उत तक पहुंचा नहीं, आंसर नहीं आया. So this whole mobile phone is creating that type of a culture, immediate, everything has to be solved immediately. We can't give time to people to, change their behavior. We cannot accept people with their faults. हर चीज को solve करना है, immediate solve करना है. Ram waited for 14 years, to give answer to Sita. 16,000 Rakshasas he killed. Such a beautiful, this whole connection, Ramayana. And then He accepts with Sita, and Ram and Sita are going. Lakshmana comes and falls in the feet. Lakshman ko news mil gaya. Brother, you tell me I will go and kill Dashratha just now. Immediately, not even father, Dashrath. I will, that Bharata to mereko malum tha. I knew, this all is his plans. Ram says, come on, how can you talk about our father like this? With a singular, how can you call him by his name? Don't do this nonsense, Lakshmana. And many times Rama scolds him like that in Ramayana. So like this, I will just tell Lakshmana's and Ram's interaction. It's so beautiful, it's very sweet, and then I will stop here. So Lakshmana falls in the feet and says, chalo, 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 let's go. So Ram and Sita look at Lakshmana. What do you mean, chalo, 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 chalo? You are here, we both are going. He said, come on, don't tell me a lie. So Ram says, what do you mean lie? See, when Sumantra told me, when father and mother Kekai told you that you have to go to the forest, you left from that place telling Sumantra, okay, we will prepare. So that, what was we there? I just heard you telling Sita, you are not coming with me. So somebody was in that we. That we is me. Yeah. So Rama smiles, He says, okay, come. इसके बाद में क्या बोलना है अभी? So Rama smiles, and Sita asks Lakshmana, why do you want to come? See, you cooking, cutting, cleaning, you have never washed clothes. I will wash clothes. Cutting, I will cut. I will pluck fruits. इतना अच्छा help होगा तो लेना चाहिए ना करके. So Sita agreed immediately. So Lakshmana, Ram and Sita went. Lakshmana, when he went to his mother, Sumitra, she immediately told, why are you still here? Why did you even waste a moment coming to me? I am disturbed by this behavior of yours, O Lakshmana, that you have left Ram and Sita. From today onwards, Ram is your father and Sita is your mother. I am no more your mother. क्या interactions है? Kaushalya or Bharat ka interaction, when Bharat comes, Bharat's and Kekai's interaction, Ram and Bharat's interaction. No wonder Ramayana has been the mainstay for culture of Bharat Bhumi. My sincere request and prayer to all of you is, please make reading Ramayana a daily affair in your homes with your family. Please sit down, take 15 minutes together. Come, we will read this pastime. Each and every pastime is so beautiful. I am confident that these problems in our families will stop. Why these problems are coming? We are all reading foreign journals and books and everything which is not ours, and ours we have left aside. If you read Ramayana, if you read Mahabharata daily with your children, it will create this type of a culture in your family that it will become Vaikuntha. So with that sincere request and prayer to all of you, I stop today's lecture on this very beautiful topic of Ramayana. Again, thank Shankarshan Priya Prabhu and all the temple authorities for giving me this chance to share some jewels from Valmiki Ramayana. And again, requesting that please make it your daily affair to read these scriptures. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. सियावर रामचंद्र की जय, जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा मैया की जय, श्री गौर निताय की जय, शिला प्रभुपाद की जय, ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय. Yeah. Any one question Prabhuji is saying, if anybody has a question. Yes, Prabhu.
Prabhuji, actually I wanted to ask about when Hanumanji goes to this Lanka, is there any mention of interaction between Hanumanji and Vibhishan? Is there any? such mention? I want
Hanumanji and Vibhishan don't interact, but Hanumanji hears that from one palace. He sees that all other palaces, there is a lot of sense gratification. There are Rakshasas who are, Danavas, that they're all enjoying, drinking. And, he also goes into Ravana's palace and he sees the Pushpak Vimana. And there is a description of Pushpak Vimana. He sees that Ravana is lying down on his bed with tens and hundreds of women, and then he sees that Ravana is on his bed. Very close to Ravana is one very, very beautiful lady, and he immediately thinks, is this Sita Mata, because he's not seen Sita. So he actually thinks like that for a moment. She was Mandodari. Mandodari is actually Durga herself, because she was made in the image of wife of Lord Shiva. She was very beautiful. Very beautiful. So, but then Hanumanji collects himself and says, how can Sita be ever here? Sita would die before, getting into this sort of situation. So when he is going and looking for Ravana and Sita, he hears the name of Ram from one palace. That somebody is chanting Ram's name. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. And then when he sees that person, he doesn't know that he's Vibhishan yet. So that prasanga is there, but not an interaction between Hanuman and Vibhishan. Okay. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. I know definitely Prabhuji cherishes and at the same time he nourishes also us in Ramayana. So thank you so much. Let us all express our deep gratitude by loudly chanting once Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. So we have some sponsors today for the Prashadam. I'll just call out the names. So we have Gayatri Golakavani Mataji and Ganesh Prabhu. They sponsored Prashadam on the occasion of the daughter Anvita's birthday. That was on 21st. We also have Unmani Radha Mataji who's sponsoring Prashadam in memory of her father on his death anniversary. We also have a sponsor sponsored by Mr. Ashwin JK in memory of his father, JK Krishna Rao. And lastly, we also have His Grace Balaji Gaur Prabhu, who sponsored Prashadam on the occasion of his daughter Lakshmi's birthday. All these devotees are requesting prayers and blessings. So let us all chant one Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So the upcoming festival is Ram Navami. So we will be posting the schedule for Ram Navami. I'll just quickly tell the schedule. So schedule is, in the morning we'll have the Bhagavatam classes 8-10 as usual, 11 a.m. Kirtan, 11:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. will be festival class, and then 12:30 p.m. will be Bhoga Arati, and then the feast Prashadam. And there is a Samskrutika Sanjay, that is a cultural program in the evening from 4:30 to 6:40, followed by Gaur Arati, and 7:15 will be recitation of Nama Ramayana. So this flyer will be posted on the WhatsApp groups. Please stay tuned. We have a special guest here today. Mataji's name is Her Grace Devi Prakriti Mataji. Mataji is from Mayapur. And Mataji is part of the child protection team. Some few weeks back, we had announced a local team that was formed, and Mataji heads the All India the group for the child protection team. Mataji is presently a co-director of ISKCON India National Child Protection Office, and Mataji also has been a professional social worker in the field of criminal justice, working for more than 30 years now. Mataji has worked towards the reformation and rehabilitation of young male and female offenders, juvenile offenders, women rescued from prostitution. Mataji has also conducted many training and sensitization workshops for officials of the police, judiciary, and prison department. Mataji has been associated with this conference since 2004. So Mataji is here to share some insights regarding the special topic of a very sensitive topic of child protection. Before that, I would request His Grace Narari Prabhu to make Prabhuji make the special announcement later. So I will hand it over to Mataji, and I also request Sarvaguna Mataji to translate the same in Kannada.
That's okay.
No, I understand. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I don't know. When she's standing, I'll also stand. No problem. I think better you hold this much. Okay, yeah, this is small.
Oh, Hare Krishna. I'm not from Mayapur. I've come from Mayapur. I was in Mayapur, and from there I flew down to Bangalore. So I'm actually from Solapur, Maharashtra. The Pandharpur Taluka is part of the Solapur district, yeah, where the Vitthal Mandir is. So as Prabhu says, there was always an international child protection office in ISKCON for many years. But since last year, the ISKCON Bureau, that's like the Indian GBC, found the need to form a national child protection office in India. Yeah.
Hare Krishna. ಮಾತಾಜಿಯವರು ಮಾಯಾಪುರದಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ರು. ಅಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಶೋಲಾಪುರ ಅವರು ಶೋಲಾಪುರದಿಂದ ಬಂದಿರೋರು. ಪಂಡ್ರಾಪುರ ಶೋಲಾಪುರ. ಓಕೆ. ಅವರು ಈ ಇಸ್ಕಾನ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಬಹಳ ವರ್ಷಗಳಿಂದ ಈ ಮಕ್ಕಳ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರೊಟೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅವರ ರಕ್ಷಣೆ, ಮಕ್ಕಳ ರಕ್ಷಣೆಗಾಗಿ ಒಂದು ಸಮಿತಿಯನ್ನ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ.
My mother tongue is Telugu, but I can't understand Kannada also. Like, so this, yeah. So therefore, as part of the National Child Protection Office, we'll be visiting all the temples and we'll be taking preventive and educative measures, because we cannot take the law in our hands. There'll be a detailed training workshop for all the congregation members also in your respective centers, because it's a big congregation. We'll have about 100 members, and we'll take my next visit. I'll be coming because I came for actually the Whitefield Center training workshop. Therefore, I've been there since Friday, and yesterday we conducted for about. Oh yes, sorry. Yes.
Little by little.
Yes. Sorry. Yeah.
Just
Yeah. So as part of the National Child Protection Office, the role of the National Child Protection Office will be educative and preventive.
ಈ ಮಕ್ಕಳ ಸಂರಕ್ಷಣಾ ವಿಭಾಗದ ಮುಖ್ಯ ಇದಂದ್ರೆ ಮುಖ್ಯವಾಗಿ ಅವ್ರು ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ರೋಲ್ ಆಫ್ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್
ಪ್ರಿವೆಂಟಿವ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಎಡ್ಯುಕೇಟಿವ್.
ಮಕ್ಕಳಿಗೆ ಆಗುವಂತ ದುರ್ಘಟನೆ ಅಥವಾ ಇದನ್ನ ತಡೆಯೋದು ಮತ್ತು ಜನಗಳಿಗೆ ಅದರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಮಾಹಿತಿ ಕೊಡೋದು ಅಥವಾ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಅದರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಕಲಿಸೋದು.
Okay. So as I said, we cannot take the law in our hands. There are certain Indian laws related to children, and there's a special POCSO Act, that's protection of children from sexual offenses.
ನಾವು ಕಾನೂನನ್ನ ಕಾನೂನನ್ನ ಕೈ ತಗೊಳಕ್ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಆದರೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೆಲವೊಂದು we cannot take the law in hands.
Yes, but there are certain laws which we need to be aware of.
ಆದರೆ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ಕಾನೂನುಗಳ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಮಾಹಿತಿ ಗೊತ್ತಿರ್ಬೇಕು, ನಮ್ಗೆ ಅದನ್ನ ನಾವು ತಿಳ್ಕೊಂಡಿರ್ಬೇಕು.
See, many feel that the child protection issue is a very international or foreign concept, but child protection is important in the Indian context also.
Okay. ಮಕ್ಕಳ ಸಂರಕ್ಷಣೆ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಕೆಲವರು ಅನ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾರೆ ಅದು ವಿದೇಶಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಆಗುವಂತ ಒಂದು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇರುವಂತ ಪದ್ಧತಿ ಅಂತ, ಆದ್ರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಭಾರತದಲ್ಲೂ ಸಹ ಅದರ ಅವಶ್ಯಕತೆ ಇದೆ.
Yeah, so as part of that we've started visiting all the temples. At least one initial visit has to be paid to implement the preventive aspects.
ಅದರ ಅಂಗವಾಗಿ ನಾವು ಎಲ್ಲಾ ದೇವಾಲಯಗಳನ್ನ ನಾವು ದೇವಾಲಯಗಳಿಗೆ ಭೇಟಿ ಕೊಡಕ್ಕೆ ಶುರು ಮಾಡಿದೀವಿ.
Yeah, and educative aspect is we'll be making giving you all awareness about the different Indian laws and what are your roles and responsibilities, because you all also are part of the stakeholders.
ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಮುಖ್ಯ ಕಲಿಕೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಜನರಿಗೆ ಜನರಿಗೆ ಮಾಹಿತಿಯನ್ನ ಕೊಡೋದು, ಅದರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಒಂದು ವಿಷಯವನ್ನ ತಿಳಿಸೋದು, ಮತ್ತೆ
preventive aspects.
Okay. ಮತ್ತು ಮಕ್ಕಳ ಶೋಷಣೆಯನ್ನ ತಪ್ಪಿಸೋದು.
Yeah, so in that regard we have come here, and this is this because we'll be it'll be about at least 1.5 hour the workshop.
Okay.
Yeah, well we'll be giving you all the information.
Okay.
In that regard. Yeah,
ಅದಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ಮಾತಾಜಿಯವರು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಇದು 1.5 ಗಂಟೆಗಳ ಕಾಲ ನಡೆಯುವಂತಹ ಒಂದು ಸಭೆ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ.
Yeah, so how many of you all feel the need that there is a need for child protection in ISKCON also? Yes, yes, spiritual organizations need.
ISKCON ಸಂಸ್ಥೆಯಲ್ಲೂ ಸಹ ಮಕ್ಕಳ ಸಂರಕ್ಷಣೆ ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಬಯಸೋರು ಎಷ್ಟು ಜನ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ ಇಲ್ಲಿ?
Our children are devotee children, so why do they need protection?
ನಮ್ಮ ಮಕ್ಕಳೆಲ್ಲರೂ ಭಗವಂತನ ಭಕ್ತರ ಮಕ್ಕಳು, ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಯಾತಕ್ ಬೇಕು ಸಂರಕ್ಷಣೆ ಅಂತ?
Yes. Do our children need protection? Yeah. Why? And have there been any references of child abuse in our scriptures? Anybody can tell me?
ನಮ್ಮ ಶಾಸ್ತ್ರದಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲಾದರೂ ಮಕ್ಕಳ ಶೋಷಣೆ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಏನಾದ್ರು ಮಾಹಿತಿ ಇದೆಯಾ? ಯಾರಾದ್ರೂ ಹೇಳ್ತೀರಾ ಅದರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ?
Yes. Yes, and or yes, and
ಧ್ರುವ ಪಾಂಡವರು.
Yeah, Pandavas. Yeah, when in their childhood, yes, by their own cousin brothers, or more.
Prahlad.
Yes, Parikshit, and yeah, they said Prahlad Maharaj. They said Prahlad Maharaj, Dhruva Maharaj, Parikshit Maharaj, and the Lord. The Lord was not this. He protected himself and he protected his own coward friends also, na? Yes. So that's how, many people think where references. So in my presentation, I had to bring these references. But who protected them? Who protected Prahlad Maharaj? Yeah. And Dhruva Maharaj? Yeah. Who came in the form of Prahlad? Yes. Narad Muni, no, Vishnu also, na? Yeah, Narad Muni came, but finally Vishnu also appeared before him in 6 months, na? And Parikshit Maharaj also, the Lord himself, and his own this also. And Pandavas also, Lord only. Yeah, and Vidura or whoever, they were the representatives. Yes, but then for our children, the Lord will appear to protect our children. Yes.
ನಮ್ಮ ಮಕ್ಕಳಿಗೆ ಭಗವಂತ ಬಂದು ಕಾಪಾಡ್ತಾನ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ.
Yes. Yeah. So who are the stakeholders? Stakeholders means responsible people. Yes.
ಮಕ್ಕಳ ರಕ್ಷಣೆಗೆ ಯಾರು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಯಾರು ಜವಾಬ್ದಾರಿಯುತರು?
Yeah. And the children themselves also. The different stakeholders, right from the temple management, it starts from the GBC. Yeah? If you see overall ISKCON, it starts from the GBC till the children. How can the children be their own stakeholders?
ಮಕ್ಕಳ ರಕ್ಷಣೆಗೆ GBC ಇಂದ ಹಿಡಿದು ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಬ್ಬರು ಜವಾಬ್ದಾರಿಯುತರಾಗ್ತಾರೆ.
How can the children be? Children are here, na? How old are you? 15. So how can you be responsible for yourself? Yes. Can you? No. No. How? Then who'll take care of you? Who'll protect you? You see? Yes. No, you yourself also responsible. Yes. So therefore, the children also are stakeholders and they are responsible for their own protection as well. Especially children between the age of 12 to 18.
ಮಕ್ಕಳ ರಕ್ಷಣೆಗೆ ಮಕ್ಕಳು ಸಹ ಜವಾಬ್ದಾರಿಯುತರಾಗ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಅವರಿಗೂ 12 ರಿಂದ 18 ವರ್ಷಗಳವರೆಗಿನ ಮಕ್ಕಳಿಗೂ ಸಹ ತರಬೇತಿ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ.
What is the age group of a child? Who can you call a child? What is the age group? Child? 0 to 12, Prabhu is saying, right? Is he right? Yes, somebody else? Yes, 0 to 18. But what do you mean by 0? 0, when does 0 start?
Newborn.
No.
0 ವರ್ಷ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು?
0 means what? From when? Yes, but in the womb from when? The inception, right from the inception.
ಮೊದಲನೇ ದಿನದಿಂದ 0 ವರ್ಷ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಗರ್ಭಧಾನದ ದಿನದಿಂದ ಆರಂಭವಾಗುತ್ತೆ.
Yes. Yeah. So this is very important. Yeah. So 0 to 18 is the age group of children. But now in youth groups, what is the youth group age in ISKCON? Youth are sitting here, na? What is the age group of the youth group in our ISKCON?
ಯುವಕರ ಗುಂಪಿಗೆ ಸೇರಕ್ಕೆ ಏನು
IYF youth group
ಯಾವ ವರ್ಷ ಎಷ್ಟು ವರ್ಷ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೇಕು?
No, I've just come from Mayapur and next month there is a youth festival in Mayapur and the board says what, you know? What is the age group? Who said something? I heard something there from the ladies. Yes, 15 to? Yes, 15 to 35. See, the women know better than the youth. Huh? 15. So 15 to 18, are they minors or youth? Minors. Then, so how many brahmacharis, are the brahmacharis in charge of the IYF here? Yes. So how safe is it? Sorry. I'm not used to this translation.
ಯುವಕರಿಗೆ ಯೂತ್ ಫೋರಂ ಅಥವಾ ಯುವಕರ ಒಂದು ಸಂಘಕ್ಕೆ ಸೇರ್ಬೇಕಂತಂದ್ರೆ 15 ರಿಂದ 35 ವರ್ಷಗಳ ಅವಧಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ತಗೊಳ್ತಾರೆ ಅವ್ರನ್ನ.
Yeah, so therefore we'll be educating the brahmacharis also or the congregation grahasthas who are in charge of the IYF especially. How they have to, especially the 15 to 18 age group. It's quite risky. It's quite risky.
ಸೊ ಮಾತಾಜಿಯವರು ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಅವರು ಬ್ರಹ್ಮಚಾರಿಗಳಿಗೂ ಸಹ ತರಬೇತಿಯನ್ನ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ.
Yeah. So next time when I come, and I think in the evening, which is the area, Prabhu?
Jayanagar.
Yeah, Jayanagar. In Jayanagar, we'll be having in the evening the training workshop. It will take around 1.5 hours. And then afterwards in the other centers, we'll be having, when I come next time, we'll be planning out the visits and come.
This time?
2 days in Jayanagar, evening.
ಈ ದಿನ ತರಬೇತಿ ಜಯನಗರದ ಸೆಂಟರ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. What is the time?
5 to, yeah, 5.
5 ಗಂಟೆಗೆ ಶುರು ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಅದು. 5 ಗಂಟೆಯಿಂದ ಶುರು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಅದನ್ನ. ಮುಂದಿನ ಸಾರಿ ಬರುವಾಗ ಅವರು ಮಿಕ್ಕ ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಸೆಂಟರ್ ನಲ್ಲೂ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಮಿಕ್ಕ ಎಲ್ಲಾ ದೇವಾಲಯದಲ್ಲೂ ಅವರು ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ, ತರಬೇತಿ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ.
So then if you all have any questions, you all could ask, because it can't go much in depth, like, you know, we have PowerPoint presentations and we'll be doing in that detail. Yes.
ಸೊ ಮಾತಾಜಿ ಅವರು ಪವರ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟೇಶನ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ನಿಮಗೆ ಏನಾದ್ರೂ ಸಂದೇಹಗಳಿದ್ರೆ, ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆಗಳಿದ್ರೆ ಅದನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಕೇಳಿ ಅದನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ನಿವಾರಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ಬಹುದು. ಆಗ ಇನ್ನೂ ನಾವು ಆಳವಾಗಿ ಚರ್ಚೆ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ಅನುಕೂಲ ಆಗತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು. ಹರೇ ಕೃಷ್ಣ.
Hare Krishna. So we'll continue the discussion, especially for the leaders. That is the we have the core group, the Temple Development Board, admin group, TMC, Sharanya core group. All these members should be present on the first floor at 11:30. Mataji will be addressing all this admin or the leader core group at 11:30 after Prashadam. So please, who are part of these groups, the core group, development board group, admin group, TMC, Sharanya core group, they all should be present at 11:30 on the first floor. Mataji will be addressing. One quick announcement I mentioned during on Ram Navami day, we have an evening Samskrutika Sanjay. So the link will be shared, and link has been shared will be shared in the WhatsApp group. Kindly register. So those, if your friends or some kids want to register, please ensure you share that link so that they can register. And April 1st we'll be having the Vyas Puja of His Holiness Jai Padak Swami Maharaj. Jai Padak Swami Maharaj ki Jai. We have one more sponsor. Deepak Prabhu has sponsored on the occasion of his wife Sushmita Rao's birthday. Prabhuji is also seeking blessings for both of them. So let us all chant once Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Mathura Shyam Prabhu will be announcing the schedule for the Vyas Puja day on April 1st.
Hare Krishna. So Parama Puja Jai Bataga Swami Guru Maharajara 74ನೇ ವ್ಯಾಸ ಪೂಜಾ ಹಬ್ಬಕ್ಕೆ ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಸ್ವಾಗತ. ಅವತ್ತು ಎಷ್ಟು ಜನ ನೀವು ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂತಿರೋರು ಮಾಯಾಪುರ್ ವ್ಯಾಸ ಪೂಜಾಗೆ ಇದಕ್ ಮುಂಚೆ ಹೋಗಿದ್ದೀರಾ? ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಕೈ ಎತ್ತೀರಾ? ಎಷ್ಟು ಜನ ಹೋಗಿದ್ದೀರಾ ಇದಕ್ ಮುಂಚೆ ವ್ಯಾಸ ಪೂಜೆ ಯಾವಾಗಾದ್ರೂ? ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಕಮಿಂಗ್ ಇಯರ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವುದು ಹೋಗಿಲ್ಲ, ಇದು ಮುಂಚೆ ಹೋಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಓಕೆ. ಸೊ ವ್ಯಾಸ ಪೂಜಾ ಸೆಲೆಬ್ರೇಷನ್ ಬೆಳಗ್ಗೆಯಿಂದನೇ ಆರಂಭ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಲೈಕ್ ನಮ್ಮ ದಿವಸ ಪ್ರತಿ ದಿವಸನೂ ಬೆಳಗ್ಗೆ ಮಂಗಲಾರತಿಯಿಂದ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಆಫೀಸ್ 10 ಗಂಟೆ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು, 9 ಗಂಟೆ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು. ನಮ್ಮ ದೈನಂದಿನ ಜೀವನ ಮಂಗಳಾರತಿಯಿಂದ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಅದೇ ರೀತಿ ಈ ಒಂದು ವ್ಯಾಸ ಪೂಜಾ ಸೆರೆಮನಿಯನ್ನು ಬೆಳಗ್ಗೆ 5 ಗಂಟೆಗೆ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. 5 ಗಂಟೆ ಮಂಗಳಾರತಿ, 5:45ಗೆ ಜಪ, ಅದಾದ್ಮೇಲೆ 7:15 ದರ್ಶನಾರತಿ, ಅದಾದ್ಮೇಲೆ 8:30 ಅಥವಾ 9 ಗಂಟೆಯಿಂದ ಹಿಸ್ ಹೋಲಿನೆಸ್ ಜಯಪತಾಕ ಸ್ವಾಮಿ ಅವರ ಲೆಕ್ಚರ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಅದಾದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂ ಗ್ಲೋರಿಫಿಕೇಶನ್ಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಭೋಗ ಆಫರಿಂಗ್, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಆರತಿ, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಪ್ರಸಾದಂ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾರ್ನಿಂಗ್ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಬೆಳಗ್ಗೆ ಮಂಗಳಾರತಿಯಿಂದ ದರ್ಶನಾರತಿ ಅದೆಲ್ಲಾನು ಇಲ್ಲೇ ನಡೆಯುತ್ತೆ. ಆದರೆ 9 ಗಂಟೆ ಒಂದು ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಗೋದು ಮಾತ್ರ ನಾವು ಹೊಸ ಟೆಂಪಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದೀವಿ. ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ಸಾಟರ್ಡೆ ಶನಿವಾರ, ಬರೋ ಶನಿವಾರ 1ನೇ ತಾರೀಕು ಬೆಳಗಿಂದ ಮಧ್ಯಾಹ್ನವರೆಗೂ ಹಿಸ್ ಹೋಲಿನೆಸ್ ಜಯಪತಾಕ ಸ್ವಾಮಿ ಜೊತೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಇರೋಕ್ಕೆ ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ಪ್ರಯತ್ನ ಮಾಡಿ. ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ಬರೋಕ್ಕೆ ಪ್ರಯತ್ನ ಮಾಡಿ. ಒಂದು 2ನೇ ಅನೌನ್ಸ್ಮೆಂಟ್, ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ಲಿ ಯಾರ್ಯಾರು ಇನಿಷಿಯೇಷನ್ ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ರು, ಶೆಲ್ಟರ್ ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ರು ಹಿಸ್ ಹೋಲಿನೆಸ್ ಜಯಪತಾಕ ಸ್ವಾಮಿಗಳಿಂದ, ಆವತ್ತಿನ ದಿವಸ ಏಕಾದಶಿ ಅಲ್ಲ ನಮಗೆ, ಆದ್ರೆ ಏಕಾದಶಿ ಮಾಯಾಪುರಲ್ಲಿದೆ, ಕೆಲವು ಏಕಾದಶಿ ಇದೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಅರ್ಧ ದಿವಸ ನಾವು ಫಾಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಇರಬೇಕು. ಶನಿವಾರ ಮಧ್ಯಾಹ್ನ ಹಾಫ್ ಡೇ ಫಾಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಇರಬೇಕು. ಆದ್ರೆ ದ್ವಾದಶಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಮಾಮೂಲಿ ಗ್ರೇನ್ ಪ್ರಸಾದಮೇ ತಗೊಳ್ತೀವಿ ನಾವು ಮಧ್ಯಾಹ್ನ ಮೇಲೆ. ಆದ್ರೆ ವ್ಯಾಸ ಪೂಜೆಗೋಸ್ಕರ ನಾವು ಹಾಫ್ ಡೇ ಫಾಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಇರಬೇಕು. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಡೇ ಏಕಾದಶಿ 2ನೇ ಏಪ್ರಿಲ್ 2nd ಏಪ್ರಿಲ್ ಇದೆ. ಆವತ್ತೇನು ಹಾಫ್ ಡೇ ಫಾಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಆದ್ರೆ ನಾನ್ ಗ್ರೇನ್ ಪ್ರಸಾದಂ ತಗೋಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ವ್ಯಾಸ ಪೂಜೆ ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ 1st ಏಪ್ರಿಲ್ ಮಾತ್ರ ಹಾಫ್ ಡೇ ಫಾಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಇರಬೇಕು. ಅದಾದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಗ್ರೇನ್ ಪ್ರಸಾದಂ ತಗೋಬಹುದು. ಹರೇ ಕೃಷ್ಣ. ಸೊ ಎಲ್ಲರನ್ನ ನಾನು ಅವತ್ತು ಬೆಳಗಿನ ನೋಡ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂತ ಅನ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ಬರಬೇಕು. ಹರೇ ಕೃಷ್ಣ.
Hare Krishna. So we'll just summarize what Prabhuji spoke in Kannada. So on April 1st, it is the Vyas Puja celebration of His Holiness Jayapatak Swami Maharaj. Okay, so on April 1st is a Saturday. So generally, His Holiness Jayapatak Swami Maharaj was born on Ekadasi, so we always fast from grains on his appearance day. Now this year, due to certain astrological calculations, the Vyas Puja is celebrated on 1st of April, but it is Ekadasi day in Mayapur. But for Bangalore, according to calculation, it is a non-Ekadasi day. The Ekadasi comes on the next day, that is Sunday, that is April 2nd. So hence, we want to celebrate on the actual day of appearance day. So we will be celebrating on 1st, which is a Saturday. And we will fast till 12 o'clock. All disciples of His Holiness Jayapatak Swami Maharaj should fast till 12 o'clock. Initiated, aspiring, sheltered devotees. So we request you to fast till 12 o'clock. And after 12 o'clock, we'll perform Arati and then we'll break the fast. We'll break the fast with grain prasadam. And on Sunday is Ekadasi, which we can fast for, fasting from grains. So that's a celebration. The program starts morning Mangalarti. And then about 8 o'clock, we will have the live class. So we'll schedule that. There could be a live class. We will see if we can transmit what is coming in Mayapur so that we can see here his lecture. And then we can also hear him. And then we can begin our program by glorification, some kirtans. And then after glorifications, we'll have Arati. And then we'll have Prasadam. Okay. So that's the program. In summary, you should get your registration forms and all those things. So please be present. Thank you. Hare Krishna. So now I request His Grace Narayana Prabhu to talk about 2 upcoming events that are coming. So he would brief us about that.
Hare Krishna. Just before Mataji was speaking about the child protection, please take it very seriously. All institutions are affected. So ISKCON doing a very proactive preventive measure. She has come all the way from Sholapur. Many of you are leaders. You please come in the first floor. She will brief. So ISKCON in India. Now CPT has its own office in India. It was international before. Now in India it is established and they have many devotees who are working for it. She is well trained. I just spoke to her. And they are going to establish an office everywhere. And ICC also, last time we announced they are going to work through that. But certainly, whenever you see your child, just remember they have to be protected. So don't take it light. All the schools are doing, all the institutions are doing. So please give top priority. If you do it now, later, our children will be safe and they will take care. So this has to go on. In the Western country, it is very predominantly push and a lot of abuses. But here in India, not many people know about it. So even if they abuse, we don't know. Nowadays, you must have seen in TVs, big people are coming out. They're talking about their own fathers abusing their own kids. So it is no more a secret aspect. It has to be awareness. If children know about that, then certainly we can prevent a lot of abuses like this. Thank you. Second thing is that I had announced about the SIDC meeting. It's got confirmed on the 5th and the 6th. We are going to get all the South Indian leaders. So in this regard, if any one of you want to support, like last time, logistics and other things, you please give your name to Swam Prakash. So 5th and 6th, and the numbers we will know by 31st. But whatever voluntary services you want to do, please, you're welcome. Many of you are closer to the temple. See how best you can take association and also help these devotees. Because, hosting but feasting, don't worry. We will feast you also. Temple will take care of that. Yeah. So hosting is a great opportunity. There are no Matajis coming. As of now, it's all Prabhu. So maybe if their wives come, I don't know. So we will let you know. But if you are open to this, you please give your name to Swam Prakash. And 5th and 6th, so there will be some services, various services are there. Temple has, we have put it, jotted down. So if you have time, you can get in touch. By serving the SIDC, you are serving the ISKCON India. So in that way, Prabhupada's institution is being served. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, we'll have Jagannath Ashtapadi.
जय जगन्नाथ जय बलदेवा शुभ